Hey there, and welcome back to the Fluent English Podcast, where we absorb English like your native language through immersive, meaningful, and engaging audio stories, conversations, and real world expressions. Today, we're diving deep into a book that's not just about pushing limits, it's about destroying them. This is Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Now listen, this isn't your usual feel good motivational fluff. This book is like a punch in the face and a hand pulling you off the ground at the same time. It's raw, it's painful, and it's real. So settle in, because by the time we finish, you'll start to see pain, fear, and struggle in a whole new way. Let's begin. Part 1. The Broken Boy. David Goggins grew up in hell. No, seriously. His childhood wasn't just hard. It was violent, terrifying, and lonely. He lived in Buffalo, New York. His father ran a roller rink business, and on the surface, they looked like a decent family. But behind closed doors, it was a nightmare. His dad was abusive, ruthless. David, his brother, and his mother were beaten, manipulated, and emotionally crushed. And they couldn't escape. Because every time they tried, they were pulled back in with fear. David also faced racism in school. He was one of the only black kids in a mostly white neighborhood. He was bullied, insulted, ignored. He developed a stutter, couldn't read well, struggled with grades. And guess what? He hated himself. Imagine being 8 years old, carrying the weight of your father's fists, your school's silence, and your own belief that you're nothing. That's where Goggins started. Part 2. The Dark Years. As a teenager, things didn't get better. After finally escaping his father with his mother, Goggins tried to start over. But the trauma followed him. He barely graduated high school. He was obese, almost 300 pounds, working a dead-end job spraying for cockroaches. No dreams, no confidence, just pain and junk food. And then, one night changed everything. He came home from work, soaked in sweat and insect poison, and he saw a Navy SEALs recruitment ad on TV. Men diving from helicopters, running through the ocean, faces hard as steel. And something clicked. He thought, that's who I want to be. But the recruiter laughed at him. He needed to be under 191 pounds in 3 months to even qualify. That's over 100 pounds of weight to lose. Most people would have quit right there. But Goggins didn't. He started waking up at 4 a.m., running on shattered knees, doing insane workouts, living on hardly any food, and pushing past every excuse. This was the beginning of a mental transformation. Part 3. Hell Week. Goggins eventually made it into Navy SEAL training, and then he faced Hell Week. Now, for those who don't know, Hell Week is designed to break you. No sleep, cold water, physical punishment, constant screaming. Most people quit. David? He went through it 3 times. Not because he failed mentally, but because of injuries. His knees were wrecked. He had pneumonia, stress fractures. But he never ever gave up. He pushed through with bleeding feet and broken bones. And why? Because Goggins believed in something he calls the calloused mind. You know how your hands get tougher when you use them over time? Well, your mind works the same way. Every hardship, every moment of suffering, that's a chance to build mental calluses. Armor that protects you from life's punches. Part 4. The 40% Rule. Here's one of the most powerful ideas in the book. Write this down. It's called the 40% Rule. Goggins says, when your mind tells you you're done, you're only at 40% of what you're capable of. 40%. That means there's another 60% of power locked inside you, untapped. He discovered this during ultramarathons, running 100 miles with blisters the size of pancakes, bones grinding, blood in his shoes. He should have collapsed, but he pushed through. Because he knew, this is where most people stop. But I can go further, and that's the difference. Champions don't have more talent, they just know how to suffer better. Part 5. Taking souls. Ever heard of taking souls? It sounds brutal, and it kind of is. But here's what it means. When someone doubts you, mocks you, or tries to break you, outwork them. Smile in the pain. Push harder. Do what they thought was impossible. By doing that, you take their soul. You shatter their expectations. In SEAL training, Goggins did this to his instructors. They wanted to crush him, but he just kept going. That messed with their heads. This isn't about revenge. It's about mental dominance. Not by yelling, not by fighting, but by outperforming everyone in the room. Part 6. The Accountability Mirror. Now this one hits home. Every night, Goggins stood in front of what he called the accountability mirror. No lies, no sugarcoating. He'd say, "You're fat. You're lazy. You're not trying." Then he'd add sticky notes with his goals. Lose 100 pounds. Be a SEAL. Run 100 miles. And every day, he stared those notes down and held himself accountable. It wasn't about guilt. It was about truth. Because when you stop lying to yourself, you unlock the power to change your life. Part 7. Be your own hero. Toward the end of the book, Goggins shares a beautiful idea. He says, be your own hero. We grow up idolizing athletes, actors, influencers. But Goggins asks, what if you became the person you admire? What if you built yourself into someone you can look up to? Someone who fights, who grows, who never gives up. You don't need to be famous. You just need to be relentless. Because the only person who can save you is you. Wrap up. Final lessons. Let's bring this home. David Goggins didn't write "Can't Hurt Me" to impress you. He wrote it to challenge you. Not to be like him, but to become the toughest, truest version of yourself. Here are a few takeaways. Face your pain. Don't run from it. Stop making excuses. Own your story. Motivation fades. Discipline doesn't. And when you think you're done, you're probably just getting started. If this story hit you in the gut or woke something up inside you, don't let it fade. Do something today that scares you. Run that mile. Have that tough conversation. Start the thing you've been putting off. And if you enjoyed this episode, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Until next time, stay hard, stay humble, and never forget, you can't hurt someone who refuses to quit. Happy listening, all.